hello there. You caught me being in extreme amounts of pain. Sorry I haven't had a video up in a while. Been going through some rather painful surgeries all this week, so I'm also self-medicating because of that. So if I sound or do something funny, I apologize. And that's also kind of why everything looks like crap right now. I haven't really had a whole lot of time to do stuff and fix myself up, so please excuse me. I did write down a list of the things I want to talk about, so I won't rant too much. This is a discussion video, really, about the state of the gaming industry. You know, with E3 coming up, I thought it was a good time for this, and my wife keeps bugging me about that. She thinks I should do this video, so this is that. Okay, so one of the things I want to discuss first was kind of the gaming industry. Whenever I started gaming, whenever I was younger, the first console I ever got was the big o fat Game Boy, the original Game Boy. And there really wasn't anything good out for that system, really. It wasn't until Color came around that we saw, good games like, the Pokemon series. Even though there was plenty of other stuff, but really that was kind of almost the introduction into gaming in a sense, because my console I had after that was actually the Super Nintendo, and it was all about Super Mario World, and renting video games constantly and playing them. That was a lot of fun. It was definitely a good time for video games. Hell, even looking at renting games today, it's kind of a joke. You pay $8 to $12 to get it for 3 to 8 days, and then depending on how you're renting it, you don't even technically have a copy of the game. You might just be streaming it, and in that case you need to be online to even play it with good connection. So games have definitely taken a tumble for the worse. But back whenever I started playing games, the big competitors were Nintendo and Sega. Yeah, that's insane to say, because both of those companies are, shit now. I mean, I always kind of held out hope for Sega that they would be able to come up with something, but they just keep letting everybody down. And their 20th anniversary Sega convention was definitely a show of how much of a shit show that company has become. They did just recently, adopt Atlas into their group, so, like I said, still gotta hold out some hope that they'll be good. But as far as Nintendo goes, god damn, it is the biggest joke ever. Nintendo created their fucking the greatest video game company in the market right now, Sony. They didn't create Sony, but they did create the fucking PlayStation. And just the Switch is a freaking joke. The 3DS is better. It's embarrassing. As a matter of fact, the only reason that Nintendo is alive today is because they own the largest gaming franchises, Mario and Pokemon. And I don't even know how to use Pokemon, so there's that. Just honestly, I can't wait till Nintendo's completely done for and we can see their games on real consoles. Because, how awesome would it be to have, a Pokemon game that plays like Skyrim? Instead, they're just finally getting a Skyrim, a freaking 5-year-old game that's going to have to be downgraded just to play on their piece of shit system. It's not good. Not good. And so, now we move on to discussing gaming today. And, as you know, gaming today, there's, there's 3 big name people. There's, Sony with their PlayStation, which is freaking god console as far as I'm concerned. And you can argue that if you want, but they are the number 1 selling console right now, as far as the next gen systems go. And then you got Xbone, which is a joke, and probably going to continue to be a joke. I mean, I kind of have hope for them, especially with what they've announced for their specs of the Scorpio. I sure as hell am not gonna buy it. They don't have a single game I want to play, and even if they did, they'd probably just come out on a computer anyway. So why would I pay X amount of dollars for, you know, playing on my TV? but what was I gonna say? And then the other one being Nintendo with their Switch, which is, you know, the next show console. Like the Wii U is a better console. I don't understand how they got away with the Switch and that it's selling as good as it is, other than the fact that, you know, I do know there are people in their houses that have boxes of Switches that they bought on launch just so that they could resell for higher. And then, of course, you know, we have gaming PCs, but, you know, as like a retro collector and as like a true gamer, I can't really do PC so much. I like having a physical copy of my games, for one thing, and for another thing, I really like the controller, which I know you can play controller with PC games, but it's just not nearly as interactive. Not to mention, I'm not going to pay an extra $3,600 to play my VR games whenever I just paid, you know, an extra $300 to play mine on PSVR. Also, another gaming format that, you know, is kind of embarrassing but should be mentioned is mobile gaming, like cell phones and tablets. These are very, very reliable sources for, you know, companies to make income. The highest grossing video games in the world are like Clash of Clans and Candy Crush, and, you know, they haven't been out, well, they've been out playing long, but just the fact that they're free and that more people are shoveling fucking money into their faces than any other paid game is an absolute embarrassment, especially to the gaming community. And it's really because of that we're seeing stupid shit in our video games, in our real video games. But pretty much every game out there today, or well, all the new games out there today, are having these microtransactions, or having these loot boxes, or having, you know, DLC that's meaningless to the game. We're seeing it every single game, pretty much. I mean, it's hard to remember the last game that really came out without any DLC whatsoever, or that released free DLC just to improve the quality of their game. Like, that's what DLC is supposed to be about. And I can understand, like, you know, developing more for the game and then releasing it. And if your DLCs have a lot of content in them and a lot more of an actual gameplay, then I can understand dishing out some money for it. But not what we're seeing today. What we're seeing today is mobile gaming bullshit. It's microtransactions. And it's just not flying, especially with the expensive games. The $60 games, they're not even $60 fucking dollars anymore. Injustice 2 came out, and if you want to have the full experience of 3 months playing the game, then dish out $100 fucking dollars. And we have games like Destiny, that you want the full game, we'll dish out $300+ because we broke that shit up because you don't deserve to get a game for $60. As you can tell, I'm not a fan of these bullshit tactics that video game companies are pulling through. And another really big one that I really want to talk about is releasing unfinished games. Yeah, I mean, I understand that people want, you know, games out as fast as possible, but I want a real game. I don't want to spend $60 for some broken piece of shit. And, you know, whenever you're working 20 years on a video game, yeah, talk about Final Fantasy 15, then don't release a fucking broken video game that's not complete. And then don't expect me to spend another $80 for you to finally fucking complete the video game. Gaming companies are saying that the reason they're doing this is because it costs too much to make video games nowadays, but I don't believe that for a second. I mean, games make so much money that I don't see how they're spending that much to make them. Especially whenever some indie teams are actually releasing better, with fewer people getting paid less. Like, it doesn't add up. And I've got like a few ideas that I wanted to talk about how I think that game developers can cut costs. So one of the things I thought of for game developers to cut costs is kind of almost what they were talking about, which people were dreading, which actually kind of seems to be where the market is leading nowadays, is digital downloads, which I do not do digital downloads. I do not. Like I said, I'm a collector. I like having the physical copies of the games. But what the video game companies can do is they can cut out the middlemen. They can cut out the games like, or stores like GameStop and, you know, Walmart and Target and whatever, wherever you're buying your game from. They can cut out those companies and just have it to where you buy from the actual company themselves. Like, you know, say Horizon Zero Dawn was coming out, you'd go up on the PlayStation Store and order that game. That would be ideal, because then they're just producing exactly what, you know, they're producing to order, and it would work out a lot better for them. And, you know, from there, then, you know, your stores like GameStop or whatever can just sell retro games, or they can sell used games, and it'll, you know, be perfect for them, because they'll make pure profit. The game companies will make pure profit. Everyone will be a little bit happier. At least I think so. And also, I want them to do that because I'm really tired of this censored shit. Like, I'm not buying any Fire Emblem games that are new gen because they're all fucking censored. I'm not buying tons of other games because they're censored. I refuse to buy a game that's censored. I refuse to buy content from an artist that has been censored. You wouldn't buy a picture if it had a black bar across it. You can't censor art. I'm a big advocate of that, especially, you know, contributing to some of the world's art myself. I mean, that's my main suggestion to companies, is to kind of, you know, go about doing that, and then hopefully you won't see as much microtransactions or broken games. And also another thing I was thinking of is, you know, for advertisement, just don't go through TVs and sources like that. Like, lots of gamers use YouTube, they use Twitch. I mean, you know, this video's on fucking YouTube. Like, just advertise on the internet. Advertise through your website. Advertise through social media. Post stuff all up on Facebook. If you want to pay money, then pay money to Facebook and YouTube to advertise on there. You're already doing it. I mean, it's just, the state of the world has gotten really disappointing, and I fear that there's going to be another video games crash. My real fear is that the consoles are just going to die out as a whole, and all we're going to have is mobile gaming and computer gaming, so that way that they can just cash in on those microtransactions and stuff. Because, you know, there's plenty of idiots out there who are going to do that. There's plenty of idiots. Like, there's a single person out there who's easily paid off somebody's, you know, entire job. Like, that one person on their microtransactions has paid every single paycheck somebody has made in the gaming industry. Guaranteed. And so that's why I fear that, you know, consoles as a whole are gonna die. Like, nobody's gonna really pay for good video games. We're only gonna pay for microtransactions because that's the only thing that really is going to make companies enough money, because that's what it really comes down to, is making money and not making you a good video game. And therein lies the problem. And therein lies the problem of, like, the last video game crash. Like, whenever we saw our last video game crash, is because, you know, people were just trying to cash in on fucking games, producing as much as they could, and most of them didn't work. The Atari saw a lot of games that did not work. I mean, everyone's, you know, says that, you know, E.T. is the cause of the video game crash, but, you know, obviously it wasn't the cause of the video game crash. It was just one of many symptoms, and it was a broken, incomplete game, and that's what we keep getting now. So I see the video game industry crashing the way it's headed right now. I hope that's not the case. I mean, I am a gamer, but that's gonna be all for this video. I want everybody who watches this video, I hope that you will chime in the comments and let me know what you think about the video game industry today, if you agree with me or disagree with me, and basically post out your suggestions for how the video game industry can fix itself. And if we get enough people in the comments telling me about giving me suggestions of what they think can bring apart the increase the video game industries, or to stop its destruction. Or if you've got other questions that about the gaming industry that you want me to answer, then I'll make a whole nother video where we answer questions from that and talk about or have discussions basically about some of those things that people suggest. So anyways, that's all for this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. It's what makes the YouTubes go round. Be sure to comment, like I said, about your opinions or your thoughts, and most importantly, don't forget to take care of yourselves.